Jim Bob Duggar is finally facing the reality his daughter Janna has been urging him to see. After repeated appeals and mounting pressure, Janna's words may have finally reached their mark, signaling a turning point in their family dynamic. The tension, the emotions, and the long-awaited accountability are now coming to the forefront. Fans are captivated as we reveal how persistence, care, and courage from Janna could reshape one of the Duggar family's most watched relationships. Stay with us as we uncover the full story behind this powerful moment of reflection and change. Johanna Duggar has recently made headlines after leaving her family home amid reports of financial turmoil linked to her father, Jim Bob Duggar. This departure, marked by both personal and legal complexity, has drawn significant attention from media outlets, fans, and social commentators alike. According to sources close to the family, Johanna's decision to step away from the household was influenced by mounting financial pressures, including concerns over bankruptcy proceedings involving her father. The situation has grown more intricate, with police reportedly issuing warnings related to property, legal responsibilities, and potential disputes, underscoring the seriousness of the circumstances and the need for careful navigation of both family dynamics and legal obligations. Johanna Duggar's move highlights the intersection of personal agency, family loyalty, and public scrutiny. As a high-profile member of a widely followed family, her actions are inevitably observed, analyzed, and interpreted within the broader context of the Duggar family's public narrative. The departure from the family home represents a significant personal choice, reflecting a desire for independence, safety, and the establishment of boundaries in the face of challenging financial and relational circumstances. Experts in family psychology emphasize that such decisions, while difficult, can be essential for emotional well-being, particularly when navigating complex family structures and high-stakes public attention. Johanna's choice serves as a case study in asserting autonomy while balancing obligations and expectations, illustrating the nuanced challenges faced by individuals in prominent families. The financial backdrop to Johanna's departure is central to understanding the unfolding events. Reports indicate that Jim Bob Duggar has been facing considerable financial strain, potentially including bankruptcy filings, creditor negotiations, and the restructuring of family assets. Such pressures can have profound emotional and relational effects, particularly on adult children who may feel both responsibility and concern for the well-being of the household. Legal experts suggest that when financial instability intersects with high-profile families, the stakes are amplified as public attention, media scrutiny, and reputational concerns add layers of complexity to decisions that might otherwise remain private. Johanna's proactive step to leave the household may therefore reflect both a protective measure and a pragmatic response to the uncertainty surrounding her family's financial situation. The involvement of law enforcement in issuing warnings related to the situation introduces another dimension to this developing story. Police interventions in matters of financial or property concern are often precautionary, aimed at preventing disputes, ensuring legal compliance, and safeguarding the interests of all parties involved. While the warnings themselves are not indicative of criminal activity, they underscore the seriousness of the circumstances and the necessity for careful navigation of legal responsibilities. Observers note that the presence of law enforcement highlights the intersection of personal, familial, and legal considerations, illustrating how complex dynamics can emerge when financial, relational, and public pressures converge. Public reaction to Johanna Duggar's departure has been a mix of empathy, curiosity, and analysis. Fans of the family have expressed support for her apparent assertiveness in making a difficult decision, while others speculate on the broader implications for the Duggar family's financial stability and relational cohesion. Social media platforms and online forums have become spaces for dialogue, with discussions ranging from the challenges of high-profile family life to the specific pressures associated with financial adversity. Psychologists note that such public engagement reflects both the investment viewers have in the Duggar family and the broader cultural fascination with navigating family, finance, and personal autonomy under scrutiny. Johanna's story therefore serves as both a personal narrative and a lens through which audiences can explore themes of responsibility, independence, and resilience. Jim Bob Duggar is finally facing the reality his daughter Janna has been urging him to see. After repeated appeals and mounting pressure, Janna's words may have finally reached their mark, signaling a turning point in their family dynamic. The tension, the emotions, and the long-awaited accountability are now coming to the forefront. Fans are captivated as we reveal how persistence, care, and courage from Janna could reshape one of the Duggar family's most watched relationships. Stay with us as we uncover the full story behind this powerful moment of reflection and change. Johanna Duggar has recently made headlines after leaving her family home amid reports of financial turmoil linked to her father, Jim Bob Duggar. This departure, marked by both personal and legal complexity, has drawn analytically. Johanna Duggar's situation provides insight into how individuals navigate the complex interplay of familial obligation, financial responsibility, and personal choice. Leaving a family home under such circumstances is rarely a simple decision. It requires consideration of legal ramifications, emotional consequences, and relational dynamics. Experts highlight that stepping away from a household in the context of financial stress can serve multiple purposes: protecting emotional well-being, asserting autonomy, and creating space for constructive problem-solving. Johanna's actions suggest a careful balancing of these factors, demonstrating a level of foresight and agency that is particularly significant given the public attention surrounding her family. From an emotional perspective, the departure is deeply significant. Leaving the home where one has grown up, particularly in a family as tightly knit and publicly visible as the Duggars, involves complex feelings of attachment, duty, and personal need. Observers note that Johanna's choice may involve a mixture of relief, anxiety, and hope, as she steps into a space where she can exercise independence while navigating the uncertainty of her family's financial situation. Psychologists suggest that such transitions, while challenging, can foster resilience, self-efficacy, and long-term emotional growth, especially when individuals are able to make deliberate choices in alignment with their values and needs. Johanna's journey highlights the courage required to assert personal agency in the face of relational and financial pressures. The broader implications of Johanna Duggar's move extend to the Duggar family as a whole. As a prominent member of a well-known family, her departure may influence family dynamics, decision-making processes, and communication patterns. Experts in family systems suggest that such actions can serve as catalysts for dialogue, negotiation, and adaptation, potentially leading to stronger relational understanding over time. While the immediate circumstances involve tension and uncertainty, the long-term effects may include increased clarity in roles, responsibility. While police warnings highlight the seriousness of the situation, Johanna's proactive and considered approach demonstrates resilience, maturity, and a commitment to navigating challenging circumstances responsibly. Observers anticipate that her actions may serve as a model for other family members in managing personal and financial challenges with clarity and care. Jim Bob Duggar and his daughter Johanna Duggar have once again become the focus of public discussion, following reports of mounting tension and emotional appeals related to personal decisions that have long affected their family dynamics. Sources close to the family indicate that in the past, Jim Bob has faced situations where his choices led to considerable stress within the household, and Janna, now an adult, has been openly expressive about her concerns, often urging him to reconsider his actions. Observers note that the repeated instances of pressure and guidance from his daughter reflect a deeper desire for stability, accountability, and relational harmony within a family structure that has historically been under intense public scrutiny. This ongoing dialogue between father and daughter highlights the complex interplay of familial authority, personal responsibility, and emotional negotiation, particularly in high-profile families where private decisions are often subject to public attention. The latest developments suggest that Jim Bob Duggar is now taking Janna's concerns more seriously, potentially indicating a shift in approach and a willingness to address matters that have previously been sources of tension. Experts in family dynamics emphasize that such responsiveness is critical for fostering trust, emotional security, and healthier communication patterns between generations. By heeding his daughter's repeated appeals, Jim Bob may be demonstrating not only respect for Janna's perspective, but also a commitment to personal growth and relational integrity, acknowledging that past actions have consequences and that constructive change is both necessary and possible. This evolution reflects broader themes of accountability, mutual respect, and the importance of listening within familial relationships. Historically, the Duggar family has navigated a series of challenges related to public visibility, financial considerations, and interpersonal pressures, all of which can exacerbate the difficulties of private family decisions. Johanna Duggar's interventions regarding her father's choices serve as a lens through which these dynamics can be analyzed. Psychologists note that when adult children assert themselves in response to repeated patterns of behavior, it often stems from a combination of protective instinct, ethical reasoning, and the desire to prevent repeated mistakes from affecting broader family cohesion. In this context, Janna's consistent appeals underscore both her concern for her father's well-being and her commitment to the emotional health of the family as a whole. The pattern of repeated guidance followed by incremental change is emblematic of how family systems evolve over time. Jim Bob's willingness to consider Janna's perspective more seriously may signal a turning point, suggesting that past behaviors that created tension may give way to a more collaborative approach to decision-making. Family therapists highlight that this process requires patience, empathy, and the willingness to confront past missteps without defensiveness. In the case of the Duggars, public visibility adds an additional layer of complexity, as decisions and relational shifts are often scrutinized by media and fans, amplifying both emotional intensity and social expectation. Janna's role in advocating for constructive change exemplifies how individual agency can catalyze broader relational transformation. The emotional impact of this ongoing dialogue cannot be understated. For Johanna Duggar, repeatedly addressing her father's actions involves balancing concern, frustration, and hope, as she seeks to influence change without undermining familial bonds. Experts emphasize that such emotional labor is common in families where generational differences intersect with high-stakes or long-standing patterns of behavior. The potential shift in Jim Bob's approach, therefore, is not only significant for immediate relational harmony, but also carries implications for long-term trust, communication, and emotional resilience within the family. Observers note that when family members take repeated steps toward constructive dialogue, even incremental change can have profound cumulative effects on overall relational stability. Public reaction to these developments has been attentive, with fans and commentators noting the significance of Janna's persistent engagement and her father's evolving responsiveness. While police warnings highlight the seriousness of the situation, Johanna's proactive and considered approach demonstrates resilience, maturity, and a commitment to navigating challenging circumstances responsibly. Observers anticipate that her actions may serve as a model for other family members in managing personal and financial challenges with clarity and care. Jim Bob Duggar and his daughter Johanna Duggar have once again become the focus of public discussion, following reports of mounting tension and emotional appeals related to personal decisions that have long affected their family dynamics. Sources close to the family indicate that in the past, Jim Bob has faced situations where his social media discourse has centered on themes of accountability, generational negotiation, and the complexities of parenting adult children, reflecting broader cultural interest in how high-profile families manage internal conflict. Analysts highlight that public observation often magnifies both the pressure and the visibility of personal growth, making the willingness to change in response to repeated appeals both a relational and performative act. In this sense, Jim Bob's attentiveness to Janna's concerns serves not only his family, but also offers a model for viewers on navigating repeated challenges with patience and responsiveness. Analytically, this situation underscores several key lessons about relational dynamics. First, persistent but respectful advocacy within families can lead to meaningful change over time. Second, responsiveness to repeated concerns signals both emotional intelligence and the capacity for self-reflection, qualities that strengthen trust and relational resilience. Third, high-profile families face unique pressures that complicate internal communication, making the deliberate choice to listen, adapt, and act in response to family input especially significant. In this context, Jim Bob Duggar's willingness to engage with Janna's repeated guidance is both a strategic and emotional turning point, offering insight into how long-standing family challenges can be addressed thoughtfully and constructively. The broader implications of this evolving dynamic extend beyond the immediate father-daughter relationship. By demonstrating responsiveness to repeated appeals, Jim Bob models accountability for other family members, signaling that concerns voiced with sincerity and care will be acknowledged and acted upon. Experts in family systems suggest that such modeling can foster healthier patterns of communication, encourage mutual respect, and create an environment where family members feel empowered to contribute meaningfully to decisions affecting their collective well-being. Janna's persistence and her father's evolving response highlight the interdependent nature of familial influence, where sustained engagement can produce significant emotional and relational outcomes over time. From an educational perspective, this ongoing narrative illustrates several key takeaways for audiences. 1. Change in family dynamics often requires repeated, consistent, and respectful communication. 2. Listening and responsiveness are as critical as the initial act of advocacy, particularly in situations involving entrenched patterns of behavior. 3. The interplay between emotional intelligence, accountability, and relational maturity is central to fostering long-term family cohesion. Observers can draw lessons from Johanna Duggar's approach, noting that persistent advocacy grounded in care and clarity can influence meaningful shifts even when previous interventions may not have yielded immediate results. The evolving nature of this situation also highlights the importance of emotional reflection and intentionality. Jim Bob Duggar's acknowledgement of his daughter's concerns may serve as an indicator that previous patterns of oversight or inattention are being replaced with conscious engagement, a step that is essential for building trust and sustaining relational integrity. Family psychologists emphasize that such transitions are often incremental and require continued dialogue, patience, and mutual recognition of past and present challenges. Janna's role, in this context, functions both as an advocate and as a catalyst for positive change, demonstrating the power of persistent, principled communication in reshaping family interactions. Public attention to the Duggar family adds a layer of scrutiny and expectation to these private dynamics. Fans and observers recognize the tension between personal agency and familial duty, noting that Janna's repeated interventions reflect both courage and commitment. Analysts point out that such visibility can amplify both the emotional stakes and the social significance of family decisions, making the eventual responsiveness of Jim Bob not only a personal achievement, but also a public illustration of accountability, growth, and relational adaptation. The combination of repeated advocacy, public observation, and emerging responsiveness provides a rich case study in the complexities of modern family life, particularly within families operating under high visibility and social expectation. Thanks for watching. Social media discourse has centered on themes of accountability, generational negotiation, and the complexities of parenting adult children, reflecting broader